Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Mailbox Power Mastermind call, where we all share ideas to help each other grow. This is not the Mike and Brenda show. Yes, we do facilitate it, but we want to hear and learn from all of you, because I've learned from just about everybody on here. I've learned something from. And so we look forward to these calls just as much as you do. And we always like to start with wins. So anybody want to share a win for the week? No?
I don't want to say anything. I don't
Oh.
want to jinx it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Don't say anything. Don't jinx it. And that's all right. It's okay. Sometimes we have weeks that we're getting to the end of the summer and getting ready to start school. So some of you have been busy doing other things. And that is okay. I know I have some appointments on the books after this call, and later on this week, which I hope will turn into wins for next week. But with that, let's just get right into our topic then for the week. Last week, we started talking about AI, and we wanted to continue that discussion because I truly believe, and Mike believes, that AI can save you tons and tons of time and headache, for the lack of a better word. We know because we wrote a book, and that was before AI. And trying to come up with ideas, at least for us, is really hard to come up with the ideas and write something, or to come up with the idea for a video or a social media post or anything like that. You're like taxing your brain trying to figure out where to even start. But if you're like me and there's already something on a piece of paper, it's a lot easier to get creative and to go with that flow and that idea, which is kind of why these masterminds, if you've noticed, it's kind of been like popcorn. Somebody shares an idea and then somebody's like, ooh, what about this? And what about that? AI is the exact same thing. It's just an idea generator for you. And Mike this morning was playing with Chat GPT, and I'll let him share some of the things he learned this morning and wanted to share with all of you.
I guess really for me, Chat GPT is very interesting, something that I've always loved technology. So when the first computers came out, I was one of the first in line to buy a computer because I was fascinated by them. Usually someone in my generation doesn't really care about computers and technology. They're stuck in the past with newspapers and print, television, those kinds of things. But really, if you're not keeping ahead of the game, and I think AI is a game changer without a doubt. So what I did, I understand that really Chat GPT or any AI platform out there that you're going to be using really depends. The results depend on what you actually put into it. So if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. It's plain and simple. So, and that's all part of computing that I learned a long time ago. Garbage in, garbage out. So what I did this morning is I just wanted to see if I could get Chat GPT to tell me a little bit about itself and provide a list of best practices when writing prompts for Chat GPT, and give good results and provide 10 examples for business owners. And so I'm going to share my screen and I'll just let you see what it gave me. So this, I hope you can see this. Can everybody see that? Is it too small, too big? Maybe if
Does it need to be bigger, Lulu?
Bigger, yeah, better. Yes.
Okay. So basically what I did is I went and I put in a new prompt, a new chat. And I just basically said that provide a list of best practices when writing prompts for Chat GPT that give good results and provide 10 examples for business owners. And this is what it gave me.
Wow.
Says requires clarity, content, context, and specificity. So be clear and specific, state your request or question clearly. Vague prompts can lead to ambiguous responses. Provide context. Include relevant information or context so that ChatGPT understands the context of the conversation. Examples. If you have examples, provide those. And let those models be the guide to the responses. Break down complex questions. So don't just put a lot of real complex stuff out there. Make it so that you're talking to a 5 or 8 year old so that they can understand. And avoid open-ended questions or queries. You want to be specific when you ask ChatGPT to give you a result.
Yeah, I loved the example there. When I first started using ChatGPT or any AI, the magic writing tool with Canva or any of those, I'd put in tell me about or give me 10 marketing strategies. But what are some effective digital marketing strategies for small business? So small business versus medium versus large business. So being specific is key with using any of the AI. The more specific you are, the better your results.
Love it.
Specify the format or length. Just let it know whether you want a paragraph, whether you want an article, whatever it is that you want from ChatGPT. Focus on actionable advice, insights, practical steps, recommendations, and use imperative language. Frame your prompt in a way that instructs the model to give advice, examples, or solutions. And if you go back to what I did up here, it says not only give me a list of best practices, but also provide 10 examples. So you're really asking it to be specific about what you want from it. This is one thing I did not think about when I did the prompt is ask for pros and cons. I mean, that's a great suggestion for asking ChatGPT to give you information about certain things.
Wow.
So, and then this is the 10 examples that it basically provided.
Well, and iterate. The last one was iterate and experiment. And we've done that. Like we've asked it to give us 10 marketing strategies or 10 reasons why to use print marketing or things like that. And it wasn't quite what we wanted. So then you take that and put it in and say, expand on this or give it some more details to rewrite it. You can actually, if you've found something you like, that's the other thing I've used it for. If you found something you like, but it's not quite your language, you can take a phrase that you found out on the internet or wherever and say, reword this. Using, if you have a website, you can say using the language of lifesrealcurrency.com. And then it puts it in your language, in your tone of voice.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
I'm writing that down.
Yep.
That's genius.
It is. Like we have our book, so we can tell it to go, we could put our book in and say, write in this tone, use this language. And it starts to write like you. Mm-hmm.
Can I jump in for a second?
Sure.
So I'm an author too. And what they say is, remember what you put in, they have.
Right.
And so they could use it for other people.
Right.
I mean, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But I
And
just wanted to.
I don't put the whole book in, but you could write you could give it a paragraph or something, or you can give it your website or a brochure that you've written and say,
Right.
write it in this tone or
In this tone,
this,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah. And also you brought up a good point, Irma, because we're both authors. Anything you get out of Chat GPT, you need to rework. Do not take it word for word. You want to make sure, because of copyright laws and that, they're going out and finding stuff. And I just wouldn't. I'd take it and use it as a starting point. And I know I was at a conference last week, and a lot of people have been afraid of AI because of copyright laws and everything else, and they want it to be their own, and they had no idea where to start. And if you just put in the prompts and then use it as your idea generating tool as a place to start versus a blank sheet of paper, that's the way I would use AI.
And more importantly than even copyright, it's more about plagiarism. You just have to make sure that what you're putting out there isn't plagiarized, and some of this content may be taken from other sources. So you just have to be careful about it. Use it as like Brenda says, a content generator, and then work it to make it your own. A lot of great ideas out here that it does generate. And something like this, you probably wouldn't really use this as to write a book or anything like that. I mean, you could, but it's just something to give you an idea of what Chat GPT can generate for you to help you understand its capability. And that's what I was kind of looking for this morning, is just a way to show you how you can use it to be able to ask it, well, what do I need to put into a prompt so that I get good results for my business? And this is really a lot of what it put out here. Here are the 10 ideas. Clarifying a business idea, provide feedback on my idea to start a subscription service, box service, or eco-friendly products. What are potential challenges and how can I address them? Suggest 3 innovative online marketing strategies to increase customer engagement for my boutique coffee shop. Now, here's something else that you can do, which I've discovered, is say you have something here that really you would like to have expanded, get more information. So let's say we want to marketing strategies. Let's just copy that. And we go down here and I'm gonna have it write an article. And basically I just give it back its own input or output. And I'm going to ask it to give me that. And there it is.
Wow. Love it. For me, most important as far as rewriting whatever it gives you is that it has to be consistent with the way you speak,
Right.
and who you are as a person and your values and all of that.
Right.
Correct.
That to me is the most important thing, because if it doesn't sound like you, it's not going to resonate with people the
Right.
way
Yep.
it would otherwise.
Exactly, Lulu. I totally agree. I use it quite a bit to write emails. I will tell it what I want,
Mhm.
and it'll help massage my emails. And then when I do get a response to the email and I'm like, I want to answer it this way, I share my email with it, and it helps me to be fluid in my communication and succinct without rambling. And it has been a massive time saver for me.
Absolutely.
Awesome. The other thing you can do, which I thought of this morning, and it's reminding me as we're having our conversation now, is let's say we've done many of these calls and people have said to me, but how do I talk to a hair salon, or how do I talk to a spa, or how do I talk to a restaurant, or how do I approach a real estate agent or an insurance agent, because you don't know much about that industry? Go ask ChatGPT, what are the top 5 struggles that an insurance agent has with marketing? Well, now you have a conversation starter for your meeting, so that you can sound like you're educated on their field. It doesn't mean that you're an expert, but it means that you've done a little bit of research, and that is going to impress the person that is across the table from you, that is a prospective client. So there are so many different ways we've shared in the past. It's been quite a while ago of how to use it to generate social media posts, and have it as a template there. And that's using the Canva one. But there is just so much you can do with AI. And if you're sitting here thinking, oh God, another tool, another, newfangled way of doing things, and you're kind of blocking it in your mind, you are going to fall behind. I'm just going to be honest with you. AI within the next year or two is going to be very, very prevalent. Not that it isn't already, but AI is, I think, going to end up replacing some jobs in that. So if you aren't staying up with technology, you're going to lose out. So we wanted to share just a little bit of some ways to use it today. Any thoughts, or does anybody, since Mike's got ChatGPT up, is there anybody that's like, ooh, I wonder about this, and you'd want us to put that prompt in and see what it generates? Irma.
So I have ChatGPT too. I just two things. Never duplicate exactly what it says, because people could point that out. I could point out an article that's written by ChatGPT. I could just point it out. The other thing is, I think there's going to be businesses who use AI and the rest will be out of business.
Yep.
So it's something to learn about.
It's here to stay, and those of us who embrace it will benefit from it. I mean, some people are afraid of it, and let's face it, I mean, it's a big kind of scary thing if you think about it, but it's here. Use it for good.
You can, I'm reading Marie or Andrea's. Check out the custom instructions. It's awesome. You can actually tell GPT about yourself and your business, and it will answer questions from this point forward with those custom instructions in mind. Yes, I know people who are using AI to do. Have you ever seen the auto responders in Facebook or on websites? That's AI. They've just given it enough information that then it can answer questions. It gives them the basic questions that can be answered, and that saves you time, because your top 10 or top 20 questions that people ask, instead of you having to answer the phone, now it can be an auto-generated thing. So K Pro, yeah. Mine was a Radio Shack computer.
I think mine predated Radio Shack. I put that in there because Michael said at the very beginning something about it was unusual for someone of his generation to be so interested. And I'm like, Michael, I'm older than you are. So and so you know how non-technical I am. I just think it's funny. In 1981, I was teaching College of Business at a university, and I was one of 2 professors who bought a computer. And of course, I wanted mine to be portable so I could use it at home as well as the office. That thing weighed 40 pounds and I thought it was cool. So there you go.
Yeah, I think mine was right around 1978 or 79. My parents bought the first computer for our house. And in high school, I took computer classes, and it was DOS and that. It was so, I think of then to now, and it's really not that many years, and how technology has like totally revolutionized the way we do things. I mean, this has got more computing power than was in our first shuttle that went to the moon. I mean, it's amazing where we have come. So if you don't get on the bandwagon of technology, now you don't have to buy the latest and greatest, newest version of everything. And but if you're not staying up with technology, I truly believe you're gonna be left in the dust and you're gonna lose. And we don't want any of you to lose. We want you to all win and be super successful in your business. So any other ideas on using AI? Huh?
Any ideas or thoughts?
Yeah, on using AI.
Well, what I'm no good whatsoever on social media and creating posts and that kind of thing. That's what I want to play with.
Maybe next week we can redo, I'll do that, is we'll go through and show you how you have Canva, correct, Marie?
I do.
Yep. I'll show you next week. I'll put it on the topics for next week where I'll show you how to generate social media posts.
Oh, wow.
Using the Canva AI writing tool or ChatGPT, doesn't matter. And then take a basic template, and you can even put your branding colors in and make it so that it matches you and your brand. So
Love
I'll
it.
do that next week.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Just do me, I'll put it in my calendar right now, but somebody remind me a day or two before so that that morning I'm not like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta put something together. But I'll put it in my calendar that's what we're gonna talk about. Anything else?
Yeah. This is Suzanne. I was on a webinar workshop, Mastermind the other day. And one of the guys on there, his name was Tony Hunt, and I had never been on this call. I didn't know anything about this group. But anyway, he has developed something using ChatGPT-4 that actually personalizes not only what you're saying, but your speaking voice. And I haven't really looked at it, but he had me, I told him I was a musician, and he said, well, sing us a song. So I sang a song, and he says, yes, we can use that. You know, so it's like, I just this minute thought, well, I need to go to the website and see how it actually works. So, because I hadn't had a chance to do that yet, but I mean, that's a totally interesting thing. If you could actually have, you know, AI speak for you, so to speak.
Well, I'm gonna put two things in the chat. One, to prepare for next week, if you want to do a little bit of homework ahead of time, magicwritingtool.com. That talks about the magic writing tool in Canva. And then the other one is, hold on, AI powered video editor, HTTP. So that those that are watching the replay, no, it's AI powered video editor.com. Those two things. So when it comes to video editing and that, it can learn your voice. That AI powered video editor. You can give it, you have to give it like songs, or you have to give it, if you've done a lecture or presentation, you can put those in, or if you read a book, you can read it a book and it'll take and create it in your voice. Now you got to give it a lot. The first time we did it, we didn't give it enough, so it's not quite what we want yet, but yeah, it's amazing the capability that's out there now. So any last minute thoughts before Chris?
I just posted a link, or I'm getting ready to, if I hit enter, I guess. It's a short video that came off of Facebook. A guy, Matty McTech, he gives all these tips every now and then, talking about Bing has an AI that did logos based upon pictures. And
Yep.
Teresa and I were working with this the other day, and it really was pretty interesting, and it's free. So if you go to Bing, whatever that is on the bottom, and he explains it in that link I just gave you, I just posted. You could give it a picture that you like, and you say, make me a logo based on this style with this type of picture. And it came up with some pretty good options off of what Teresa and I were working with. So I just thought I'd put that out there too, that with Bing in their chat.
Yeah, we'll go check that out. I will say, there's a lot of graphic designers that think that they're going to become obsolete within a few years because of AI. But really, when you have somebody, AI can only do so much. So if you are truly looking for a professional logo that's not just something for an event or something like that, I would definitely hire a graphic designer.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And
versus
even with
AI.
this, we were playing with what they gave us to make it fit what we needed.
Right.
But it came up with some interesting ideas. So I just threw that out there to let people know there is something besides ChatGPT if they want to check
Oh yeah,
those.
there's tons out there. Mike has done some illustrating. He was working on a book for our grandson about Papa and Lucas, and wanted some illustrations for it because we are not artistically inclined to paint or draw something. So we put in some prompts and it gave us some pictures that we could use, which is great.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. Irma, and then Irma and Lulu, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
My son's a graphic designer, I would guess, and he's taking this big course on AI soon. But anyway, I would guess that link you just sent might be a good start for a graphic designer. So put a picture you like in there and let it play with it, and then send it to him. If anybody ever needs a graphic designer, let me know.
That's a great idea, Irma. I like that. Just like we say, use ChatGPT in the writing as a starting point. You sit down with a graphic designer, because we have, and if you really don't have something in mind, like you have no clue where to start, that might be a place to go say, oh, well, I really don't like anything like this, but I kind of like these type of ideas. And that gives them a starting point.
Wow.
I love that idea, Irma, because that helps the graphic designer and it helps you to convey what you're looking for.
Right. And the graphic designer knows what's clean and what's not clean, and colors, and
Yep. Lulu.
I'm just wondering if, Michael, will you share what you shared with us earlier? Can you share that in the...
Sure. If you guys will just send me, and I'm not going to put it in the group.
Yeah.
But if you will all send me your email address to info@lifesrealcurrency.com, we will share that with you.
Great. Thank you.
What is it? Info at
lifesreal.
LIFES, as in Sam.
lifesreal.
Currency.com.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, go play with AI this week and save some time. Now, when you first start using AI, it does hog a bunch of your time, but once you learn how to use the tool, it's going to save you a lot of time in the future. So go play with it, but set a timer so that you don't get lost in it for hours. And we look forward to seeing you next Monday on the Mastermind call. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.